Hey, how's it going, bros? Not bros, how's it going, ladies, gentlemen, bronies and Pega sisters, you know, ponies and gentlecolts. This is the one, the only Mr. Criticism Guy 2009. So, before I do get started, this video is brought to you by fucking Powerade. Hopefully I'm not too far, I'm not too close. You can see my closet, sorry, it's a real shitty-ass mess. Well, as you can see this one right here, it's Sonic the fucking Hedgehog, you know, for the win. I actually made this back in '07, it's just about, almost 6 years ago, when I had my art class, you know, I had my very first girlfriend and shit, you know. A lot of good shit happening in my senior year back then, or junior year. But, that's all in the past. It's almost been 4 years since I graduated high school. Real good years, I'll never forget them, you know. You know, it was a couple shit years too. But, before I do get started real quick, usually these are the shades I usually use. My other channel for Nintendo Freak, but you know what? Decided to go with the Regal Cinema 3 glasses. So, without further ado, I'm drinking the lemon lime again, Powerade, just like I did in my other video last week. Or it might have been this week. Lord knows which week it was. I can't keep track of all my videos unless I go to my video manager thing, you know. Oh, which by the way, I don't know what happened last night, but YouTube ended up changing their thing, so it could be more harder for people to go to their subscribers, which is bullshit, by the way. But you know what? YouTube. They always do that shit every fucking time, but I'm not going to complain. Oh, anyways, I'm wearing my Adidas shit like I was last year. I don't know if you want to take a closer look. There you go. But yeah, that's all I got to say on that part. So, I know I did my top 10 video game girls, hottest video game girls ever, and very hot, not hottest, top 10 most hottest video game girls ever. And I did my top 10 best video game heroes ever. So you know what? I decided to give a little bit more shine to the villains now, the bad guys. So I already did the good guys. And speaking of which, there's this movie coming out. Most of you guys probably heard of it by now. I don't know the main character's voice, but I know his name is Wreck-It Ralph. And you guys are going to go see that next week, Friday, November 2nd, next month. I'm definitely going to see that shit for sure. Maybe, maybe not, depends if I get paid that day or not, because I just came out of work like 2-3 hours ago, so I'm tired as fuck. I was actually going to take a nap before this, but I was like, you know what, might as well do a video before I do that, because I'm probably going to forget later on. So yeah, number 10, top 10 most craziest video game villains ever. I know this guy, he isn't just a video game villain, I know he is also a movie villain, you know, for movies, comic books, pictures, especially back in the 70s and 80s, he was way bigger back then. And in the 90s, he was still pretty big, and in the 2000s, he's pretty huge then. He's a legacy, and if it wasn't for George Lucas, that would have never made this character. He wouldn't be where he's at today. So, coming in at number 10, Darth fucking Vader for the win, bitches. Let me tell you, this guy is crazy as shit, especially the dude that was Anakin Skywalker, which ends up being Darth Vader later on, because the dark side ends up consuming his heart full of hate, anger, and, you know, corrosion with death. You know? Sorry about that, you know, those email shit that happened there. But yeah, Darth Vader. Let me tell you, this guy, he had all his little psychic powers with the Force. His Force was so unbelievable, he would just crush people's neck with his psychic abilities, like, or with the Force. And I know I'm not a Star Wars fan or a Star Trek fan, but if I had to choose which one's better, it'd probably be Star Wars over Star Trek. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to offend any of the fanboys out there that are into that shit, but especially if you're out here in Vegas, like, they do this thing like once every like couple of years, you know, for Star Trek fans out there, if you want to check that out, or Star Wars fans. Any of you guys ever go to Planet Hollywood, definitely check that shit out. They got a lot of Star Wars exhibition shit over there, so if you're a fan of that series, definitely, if you're ever out in Vegas, definitely check that shit out for sure. I think the ticket's like $200-300, but definitely fucking worth it. If you got the time, you got the money, if you got time to go on vacation on it, definitely check that shit out for sure if you're into that. So, yeah, that's it for number 10. Also, I know the video games he was going to be tied to all the Star Wars Republic games and all that shit. He made an appearance in Soul Calibur. I'm not sure if it was the second one or the third one, because I know the Link was in the first one. I think Spider-Man was the second, and I think Darth Vader might have been third, so I never really played Soul Calibur, fortunately. You guys can check out my older video I did like 4 weeks ago on that, if you want to know more about it. But, yeah. That's all I got to say for Darth Vader. He was a real kick-out dude. I think he was in the Tony Hawk game once, too. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. So, yeah. That's it for him. Number 9 This is a very badass character. He's actually a superhero, but then he had a dark side to him, which I never really knew about until a couple of months ago. My friend was at his house, back in March, when I first got my job at my temp agency place, which was very awesome shit. Oh, one more thing, I don't know if you can tell in the background, besides the door, the little machete thing in the background, Danny Trejo. Very amazing, badass actor, by the way. Probably can't see him, but I can. But let me just show you real quick up close. Hold on. There you go. Machete right there and all the Pokemon shit, This one was a new addition I had right there. I got about 2 months ago, Giratina for the win, bitches. Anyways, put you back down so you guys don't fall. Alright, we're good. So yeah, coming in at number 9, I didn't know this guy had a dark side to him. And if you don't know who I'm talking about right now, it's this guy from this little franchise right here, if you can tell. That's the Triforce. And I'm talking about none other than Shadow Link, which is from the Legend of Zelda series, obviously. And, this guy, he has the same exact powers as Link. The only difference is he's evil and he's a bad guy. I think Ganondorf is the one that created him. I'm not sure if it was that, or if there was another reason why he was in there. Only thing that I know on the Super Smash Bros. Melee, and I think for the Super Smash Bros. Brawl, they showed Shadow Link in there a couple times, so he made 2 appearances in those games. It's obvious because that's Nintendo shit. That's number 1. And then number 2, another reason why he appeared is because, I don't know, maybe Link had a lot of pure evil shit in his heart that he had to get rid of, so he ended up creating Shadow Link. So I don't know if it was Link that created him or fucking Ganondorf that created him. It would make sense if Ganondorf created him because, he always wants to kill Link, obviously. But when the 3 Triforce is set up, which is Link, Zelda, and Sheik, they always defeat Ganondorf every moment of the day. They just do it. And yeah, his little sword thing is real cool, The thing that's cool about Shadow Link, he has the same exact attacks. You can do that bow and arrow thing, and he goes, like the Hunger Games kind of shit like that, or your Avengers thing, Hawkeye shit. There's that. There's another thing he does, which is a fucking little boomerang thing, and he goes, and then it comes back and hits their enemy. I know in the Brawl, he does that little, special move. You hold down there, and he goes, yeah, boom. There's that. Fucking awesome. One more thing he does, I know he does that little special ending thing when he's on Super Smash Bros. Brawl. He does that Triforce thing, he goes, and then he does the final blow, boom, and he smashes the fuck out of the other character on the other side of the screen. He's gone. So that's all I got to say about Shadow Link. So coming in at number 8, I don't know why this guy was a bad guy. I know he was Ash's rival back in the Pokemon days, mostly for 1st and 2nd generation, because after that, they never showed him again, when it was 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and possibly a 6th next year, I don't know. So, this is obviously Professor Oak's grandson. He's a little bit of a bastard. He always treated Ash like shit. He never told him what was right from wrong, and he's like, what'll easier, smell you later, You'll never catch as many Pokemon as I will, He kind of had that douchebaggery kind of feel to him. It was like kind of an asshole type of shit. So in a way, he was kind of a piece of shit. He always treated Ash and Misty and Brock like shit. Mostly Ash. And he's been a rival since he was 5 years old. So he never had love for this dude either because he was kind of a bastard, like I said. So coming in at number 8, none other than fucking Gary Oak. Gary Oak, this guy I remember shit. Back when I was a kid in the 90s, I used to watch his shit. I thought it was pretty funny. I thought the dude had real funny, clever jokes, But after, the second one, when he showed himself in Gold, Silver, and Crystal version, Pokemon Johto Journeys, it was he was more of an asshole then than he was back in the days of that time, So that's all I got to say about that part, One more thing I got to say about him is that, he always had the stronger Pokemon when, they were supposed to have a symbolization of something. I know I just finished watching a couple hours earlier before. I went to work way early in the morning. I watched one of these videos from, I already gave him a shout out before, but definitely a shout out to this guy, Rykard. If any guys don't know who Rykard is, this guy, he makes a lot of, movesets for Pokemon. He makes, certain abilities happen and shit like that. He's doing this thing right now where he's doing a walkthrough with all traded Pokemon, like Mr. Mime, Nidorino, Farfetch, Pikachu, and I think Eradicate too. Maybe Tango, I'm not sure. But yeah, he does a lot of these videos where he puts movesets in the things, status points and all that shit. He does it. He breaks down the shit really good, in a way I haven't seen no other YouTuber have done it before. Also, he's what's it called? He does a lot of these internet shits too. You know, you can follow him on Tumblr if you want. I think his Tumblr name is the Poke Guy Rycar. Very awesome dude. Very down, humble type of chill guy. You know, he just finished doing his other video where he was like trying to go down to Fuchsia City. So definitely subscribe to him. I'll leave his link down below my channel. Shout out to the dude. Very awesome man. And he's going to be doing more because he said he was done with his midterm, like high school, college, or whatever, how old he is, age or whatever thing, so. And then he was talking about what if they would have made like a Pokemon with a ghost normal typing, of that type of status or ability, of that kind of critique kind of thing. Very, very intelligent kind of kid. So definitely shout out to the guy. So that's it, all I got to say for Gary O. Coming in at number 7. If any of you guys are big fucking fanboys of this fucking series like I am, I'm a huge fanboy at this. You've already seen how many games I got for it. I've been into it since GTA 2. I never got to play GTA 1, but I'm talking about Grand Theft fucking Auto, man. Let me tell you, this game, ever since I was in middle school, I was just hooked as fuck to this game. And the first game I owned for was Grand Theft Auto 2, then I got GTA 3. Then GTA Vice City, then GTA Liberty City, then GTA Vice City stores, but that ended up breaking in half when I was little, back when I was 15, 16. I got pissed the fuck off because I only got finished there halfway. I never got to finish the other half. And the reason how it broke is because it fell in one of my little desk things and it cracked in half, and I was pissed the fuck off. And then after that, I ended up getting Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which is the one this guy is from. And the last one, of course, I got GTA 4, GTA 4 Valley Daytona, and Lost and Damned. And now GTA 5 is coming out next year, which I'm hoping if the shit doesn't hit the fan, if no Armageddon shit happens on December 21st, you will bet your ass I'm definitely buying that game. For damn fucking sure. So coming in at number 7 is Officer fucking Tenpenny, man. For the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas series. Also played by a very legendary African-American Moreno actor, Mr. Samuel L. Jackson, the one that did Nick Fury from the Avengers and a billion other movies like Pulp Fiction, Snakes on a Plane, Officer something, and then he also did 187, you know, he's trying to teach all the ghetto Moreno Latino kids in Southern California and Compton somewhere, or East LA, where he's trying to break a racial barrier between African Americans and Hispanic Americans, you know. Because believe it or not, in California, I know it's really crazy out there sometimes, depending on what area you go to, because the areas I went to when I was in Cali back in this past July, like, I was in a nice little suburb white area. I wasn't in no ghetto-ass Latino Moreno areas, but that's a whole other topic. I'm talking about Videogame Villians right now. So yeah, Officer Tenpenny, played by the very legendary actor Samuel Jackson. So yeah, you know, Officer Tenpenny, you know, he plays a corrupt cop in San Andreas, which is really supposed to be Los Angeles. Los Santos is Los Angeles, really, but of course they would have got copyrighted for that shit and probably shut down if they said that. So yeah, Officer Tenpenny, you know, he smokes weed, does the bong, he does a couple crack cocaine, heroin shit, and he's telling this dude CJ, which is Carl Johnson, who's just the main character that he plays, he's always on his back for this and that, you know, for every little fucking thing, he's always on his ass for some shit. And he gets tired of it, and at the end of the long story short, he ends up dying in a firefighter police chase thing at the end of the game where you have to like go through all over the city of San Andreas because you end up burning this big house thing on fire, and then he dies at the end. He's like, "You got balls, kid," and like, "I'll see you hell, motherfucker," or some shit like that, and then he just dies after the fire truck crushes him in half. So very amazing actor, really kick-ass villain, Officer Tenpenny right there. And if you never played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, rent it from like Amazon or PS3, at least get a demo for it from Gamefly. You will not be disappointed. Coming in at number 6, this is from the Ratchet and Clank series. I'm sorry, I thought my phone was going off and wanted to do part 2 of this. Real quick right now, if I do a part 2 of this, I'm sorry. And let me just check the time how long I've been doing this video. Check that Puerto Rican flag out, very badass, just like the Mexican one. Check it out. It's been 14 minutes, going on 15. So, there we go. I'm going to wrap this shit up in a couple minutes. Hopefully it's not 33 minutes like my other video was for my Nintendo for 2011. I was almost 33 minutes, a half hour. I don't want it to be a half hour either. So, long story short, let's keep going. Number 6, he's from the Ratchet and Clank series. Most of you guys know him as Dr. Nefarious. Me, I just remember him as a Dr. Douchebag because he always treated this dude like shit all the time. From the Ratchet and Clank series, the same guys that make Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Jak and Daxter, now Ratchet and Clank, you know. And I've talked about it in my 3 other videos on my Nintendo Free channel, so definitely check that one out. And I might have checked it out here too. So, yeah. Dr. Nefarious, this guy is always trying to destroy and kill Ratchet whenever he tries to save the world, you know. And then he has this butler named Lawrence, and he calls him out, Lawrence, and he's like, yes, sir, is there anything bothering you now? And it's like, he always gets everything prepared for him, he's always real calm with him, even if he's yelling and screaming at him. It's hilarious, man. And very funny ass dude for sure. He kind of looks like Dr. Neo Cortex, but a tall, skinny, like, even a Slender Man version of you know, Dr. Nefarious. That would be fucking hella funny if they did that shit. And if they do ever do another Ratchet and Clank video game, which is a little bit off topic, but I know they did that all for one thing. It's okay, but I wasn't too crazy about it. It's kind of like one of those go-kart kind of racing things, but the camera doesn't let you see certain angles of the game, so it kind of pissed me off. And I played a demo of it. Wasn't that good. And thank God it wasn't a demo, because if I would have got the real game, that's like $60, $70 wasted in garbage, literally. So hopefully the other Ratchet and Clank game is a lot better than that piece of shit. I'm sorry. I mean, it's a good game, it's just, it ain't my style. So yeah, Dr. Nefarious, number 6. So number 5, I wouldn't really call this a boss enemy or a villain. This is more like an enemy, a regular enemy. Like, you know how they do in Killing Floor. He's from a zombie game. Same as Killing Floor, same as the Call of Duty Killing Floor, like Black Ops version of that shit, you know, a zombie version of that. I don't know, sorry, I just farted right there. Too much info, I know. But yeah, you know, they call him the Tank from Left 4 Dead series, and I gotta be honest with you right now, I've never played Left 4 Dead, but I have seen a lot of YouTube videos on it. The first one, I guess it seemed alright. It's just, the thing with big franchise games like Skyrim, Diablo, and I like Diablo too, by the way. Skyrim, Halo, even Battlefield, and I like Battlefield, but it gets over repetitive, like, even that Uncharted shit. It's like, with franchise games, like, really big like that, even Bioshock, it's like, I don't really get into those that much. I think, to be all honest, and I know I'm probably going to offend a lot of people when I say this, they're fucking shit. I'm sorry. They just look so fucking stupid and boring, you know? Even if it's an RPG game, it's like, I can't appreciate it, you know? It's just shit to me. Straight up pura mierda. Mierda. If you don't know what that is in Spanish, it's just horse shit. You know? Or caballo de la mierda, you know? It's just shit, I'm sorry. And if you guys get offended by it, you need to dislike the video, dislike the video because I don't like something that you guys like. And I'm not saying that it's shit that you shouldn't like, it's just, I don't really care too much for it. I still like the old school RPG shit and the stuff from the early mid-2000s. And I'm not saying all that shit is stupid, because, like, there are some games, like for the Xbox, I like that Fez game, it's real fucking cool. Also, I like that League of Legends shit, you know, I'll play that every now and then, you know, that's a pretty good game. I'll play other games too, you know. You don't even, like, try Counter-Strike once in a while, because it reminds me a lot of Killing Floor, you know. Even if it's an old early 2000s game, very worth buying for $15. You can get it on Steam. Speaking of which, if you want to add me on Steam, my username is ShadowSonic Manga Guy. Definitely check it out for sure. Anyways, coming in at number 4 is Dr. Wily off the Mega Man series, and unfortunately I never really got to play too many Mega Man video games when I was growing up. But yeah, anyways, I gotta lock some doors, some real paranormal shit going on. No, I'm just fucking with you. But yeah, you know, anyways, Dr. Wily, a lot of people said that when they were playing Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, there's this dude, I forgot, he's like International Police, he looked exactly like him. He used to call him Dr. Wily instead of Dr. International guy. And you know, he's the one that made, I think, Mega Man and Proto Man, I'm not sure. He was the evil villain on there, so he probably made Proto Man. Which I thought Proto Man was a lot more kick-ass than Mega Man. So I used to watch all the Mega Man cartoons when I was in excuse me, when I was a 90s kid. Let me get my drink real quick because my voice is running out. Yeah, that's all I had to say on that. See, you know, my voice sounds better now. You know, with Dr. Wily, he's the one that created, I think, Proto Man. I used to watch all of the fucking anime cartoons of that show was, I was hooked to that shit like crap. Besides Pokemon, DBZ, Digimon, Sailor Moon, fucking, what else was out there? Even, fucking, what's it called, Shaman King, which I never really liked it too much, but it was okay. Besides all those animals, I love this anime to fucking death, for sure. You know, some of it wasn't anime, some of it was from the U.S., but I very much appreciated that show, cartoon. Brought me a lot of memories, good times for sure. Good ass times when I was in elementary school. Never forget it. Thumbs up for that shit. Anyways, that's Dr. Wily in a nutshell. Coming in at number 3 and number 2, they're kind of from the same system. They're both from Nintendo. They obviously own them. And I never really got to know much about this one, but I knew a lot about this one. So coming in number 2 is Wario from the Mario series. The only time I played Wario is when I played Wario WarioWare, which was on the old Game Boy Advance shit, and the Nintendo DS. And then I played it for the Nintendo Wii. I only got to rent it for a week, but very good ass fucking game. And he was on the Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which I like the little ass fucking character thing where he's like in a little motorcycle or whatever or some shit. When he does his final Smash Ball move, or his strongest attack ever. You know, he was cool. And then they showed Waluigi on the Brawl too, but he was a side character. He didn't get to be a playable character. So maybe the next Super Smash Bros. Game they make, hopefully, when it's for the Wii U, it's probably going to be for the Wii U, because unfortunately I don't have Wii U, but maybe by next year I might get it. The shit doesn't hit the fan and Armageddon doesn't come out, no demons raping each other's up the asses and shit like that doesn't happen. I'll be able to get it. Yeah, so I'll definitely get that for sure next year, if I can. Yeah, so Waluigi's just like Luigi, and Wario's just like Mario. They're just the evil versions of themselves. And, you know, Waluigi, I never knew about him that much. The only thing I knew about him is on the Super Smash Bros. Brawl, where he just stomps people into the fucking ground if you catch him as a regular, your own character, for like 5-10 seconds. And after that, that's all I got to say about those two. Last but not least, one of the most baddest ass fucking villains ever in history, in my opinion at least, is not only the most kick-ass motherfucker in all of comics. He was for the DC Comics. He was Batman's worst enemy. You know, he was in so many like genres. I can't even imagine tell you where to start. He was in the Batman TV show. He was in the cartoons. He was in the movies, and he was in a lot of the video games. None other than the psychopathic clown himself, the Joker. Let me tell you something about the Joker, which was played by 3 other people I can only understand from back in the days. It was Tommy Lee Jones. Well, actually, no. I know the first one that played him for sure that I knew was that fucking one guy, the one that played with Morgan Freeman and that the Bucket List. I don't remember his name, but it'll come to me. Him. Jack Nicholson. Then that guy. It was Jack Nicholson the first time I saw the Joker, and the second time I saw him was Tommy Lee Jones, the one that was the Men in Black. Him, and then the third guy that played him was Mr. Rest in Peace, you know, Heath Ledger. Which unfortunately, even though he's not with us anymore, hopefully they do get another guy that plays the Joker just as good as he did, because he was just a psychopathic menace to fucking society, man. They just brought him to life the minute Heath Ledger played it. Out of all the 3 ones, and then there was the cartoon one, he was pretty good too, but out of all those 4, Heath Ledger was like the best out of all of them, man. He just straight out psychopathic killer that didn't give a fuck, just stab people, kill people, shoot people for fun, just for a laugh. That's that crazy, crazy psycho laugh he had. Very on point. Loved it to death, literally. Anyways, the Joker, you know, what more can I say? Basically, the name explains itself. The only thing I will tell you about the Joker is that, like, he usually pulls pranks on the city of Gotham. Always running amok of things, you know, causing chaos and anarchy and shit. Like, you know, Heath Ledger's character said, you know, I'm an ancient of chaos. It's straight out epic. You can't go wrong with this guy, seriously. And he's got one of the most hottest fucking girls that's always kissing his ass, Harley Quinn. Which I really hope they do make her an official movie character if they ever make, even though the Nolan brothers aren't going to make The Dark Knight anymore, which is the Batman movie, the last one they made with Bane and Dark Knight Rises and shit. Hopefully it's somebody just as good as the Christopher Nolan brothers, you know, very on point, just like the Joker was and the Two-Face and all of them. Hopefully they made Harley Quinn just like that, you know. Hopefully they make the hot Arkham City version of her, because she shows more tits and ass and all that pussy is just straight out orgy. Music to my fucking ears, man. And eye candy, for sure. That is a hot fucking piece of ass. I would fuck that pussy and tear it out and make it all brand new again. Other than that, yeah, the Joker, long story short, is just a psychopath. He's got that crazy style of him. He's always trying to defeat Batman, but Batman always wins. But you know what? He's the Dark Knight, you know? He's a billionaire Bruce Wayne boy wonder, you know? Even though that's Robin too, Nightwing, but that's another video. So, last ones I want to talk about. I'm not going to get into their information, but I'm just going to say their names. Just check the research out for yourself. It's M. Bison. He was from the Street Fighter series, just like that Gilly theme and Chun-Li and all of them, and Cammy. Check him out, M. Bison. Next one was Dr. Eggman, a.k.a. Dr. Robotnik from the Sonic the Hedgehog series. He's pretty, the name's pretty self-explanatory for himself. I don't really have to explain who he is. He's already super extremely famous out of the villain community for video games. They're going to be showing him and Bowser, which is Bowser number 3 for the Nintendo series. You know, those two, they explain for themselves. I don't even have to explain for them. That's how big they are. And famous, too. Those two are going to be in the Wreck-It Ralph movie. They make a little bit of an appearance with Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario, too. Even Pac-Man shows up. So I saw the preview. It's real funny. Number 4 is GLaDOS from the Portal 1-2 series. Hopefully they make a third one, because first one I never played, but I know the second one was a lot better for sure. So I'll definitely get into that for sure if they make a Portal 3. Fourth one, that was GLaDOS. Fifth one was the Alien Invaders, and the last ones were the Pac-Man ghosts. And especially when they turned blue, they were little nasty fuckers. Or bastards. That's all I gotta say for now. This has been another Criticism Guide 2009 video vlog. Check me out on Twitter, NintendoFan2012, Facebook, ZachRound320, 12@gmail.com. My paper just fell on the fucking floor, like it always does, because it's a stupid fucking fan. Last but not least, the last two videos, places you can check me out is DeviantArt.com, Manny Wolverine, and Steam.com, like I said before, Shadow Sonic, manga guy, alright? Take care, late, I'm gone, is what it is, ain't what it ain't, see you when I see you, I'm out of here, late, peace.